All of the monsoon activity, and some of you may still be cleaning up after the mess from some recent storms. So how do you know if your home is at risk for flooding? I want you to meet Lindsay O'Neill. She is a planner with the Flood Control District of Maricopa County, and LaTanya Jordan-Smith, who's joining us this morning also. She's the Communications Department Director, and she's going to help make sure that you and your family stay safe this morning. So this is so cool. I am excited about this, Lindsay. Kind of explain, this is what you're setting up a simulation of what happens typically in a flood situation.
Correct. So what I'm going to show you today, we're going to start off with the natural environment, and it's going to show you what happens before development occurs.
Okay. So this is the lay of the land, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and we get a rain.
We get a rain in the natural environment, and it's able to soak in the water, and then it will be controlled and slowly go downstream. You can see it's making its way now. And then what happens is that when development does occur, I'll switch this out real quick.
Okay. Whoops. Let me help you here. Our tree fell. We don't want it to fall. Not yet.
Sometimes
It's a little messy, but we'll put this parking lot in, and what happens is that you'll see the water, because of development, just go washing downstream. And you can see everything below it floods. Things get washed away. Houses become damaged.
Our animals are falling through. Yes.
Yes, and then our job as the Flood Control District is to come in and put in controlled structures so that the water does flow gradually.
Let me help you. I got fingernails. We're kind of stuck here, aren't we?
Kind of stuck.
We are stuck.
Okay.
Help us out. Help us out.
Here, I'll just put it on top. We're good.
There we go. Okay, so before you do that, typically, and this is such a good scenario here for us here in Arizona because we have this crazy weather that comes in. So typically, because when parking structures and buildings come in, it changes the flow of the water.
It does, and it's really important that when people go to develop these projects that they consider everything below downstream of them, because you don't want to affect your neighbor.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So, like I said,
so you guys come in
and we put in these basins, and what happens is that the water will be contained within them, and then the water will gradually come out down these streams in a controlled fashion. See, there we go.
Hence the name flood control.
That's right. That's
flood
right.
control. So now all the animals and everybody's homes are safe again.
Exactly.
And LaTanya, this is kind of a big deal, especially for us here in Arizona, because we get these crazy monsoons that dump tremendous amount of rains in a very short period of time.
Yeah, and therein lies the problem is when there's a lot of rain over a very short period of time, that's when it leads to a lot of times it's ripe for flash floods.
Right.
Flash floods will come in a heartbeat and they'll leave very quickly as well. And so one of the things that you saw here with Lindsay is one of the
we're
things
seeing
that we
on
go
video,
through.
look at that.
Right,
There's another good example.
You know, there's a lot of localized flooding going on right now as well. So what we want to do to be flood smart is we want the community to really stay informed. Watch the news, go online, you know, sign up for alerts through flood control or through the National Weather Service, because being informed on where you're going, if you're going camping, that sort of thing, you want to know if you're by a river or stream. You don't want to camp in those areas. You don't want to canoe in the areas where there's prone for flash flooding.
Well, and in addition to that, if you're building something or something, you know, around your home, you don't want to create a situation where you're creating a problem for your surrounding neighbors.
And that often happens. And so one of the ways that you can protect your home and properties are little miniature levees or a flood wall, things that can, or sandbags. You know, we've got, go right ahead.
Or just avoiding it in those areas in general.
That's right. Don't build in floodplains, because when you do, just because you haven't experienced flooding right then and there in the last few years doesn't mean that you won't get flooding at some point.
Yeah, when they have the name floodplain on a map, that's usually there for a reason, right?
That's right.
And you should always call the Flood Control District will come in and analyze the land for us, right?
There's a lot of information. We've also got an interactive map online too, where you can go and look and see if you're actually in a floodplain.
Okay.
So that's correct. But again, we're in monsoon season right now. You want to go online at fcd.maricopa.gov and get some more tips. You know, 6 inches of water will knock you down 12 inches will actually, float your car.
Yeah,
So,
can you imagine? And on the same time, you want to get some really darn cute boots like
Aren't
this
those
right
cute?
here. Look at those right
and
there.
if you have to be
And that's
near
all
water,
I have to say. Okay, the Flood Control District of Maricopa County, they have tips on how to be flood smart this monsoon. Don't get yourself in a situation that's dangerous. You can find them at fcd.maricopa.gov. And of course, if you want information, you can always call them at 602-506-1501. Thank you, ladies.